Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Where are we? Dinner has been consumed. The day's work is finished. Yeah, playing with trains. It's great stuff to play with. This is the chassis of the little Hornby 00062 tank that just didn't do anything. I've already checked the pickups. They didn't pick up. So I undid that little nut there and I took them off, and what I found was that the body of the pickup was actually distorted. So I've straightened that. I've reshaped, there's a coppery sort of spring that sits in there. I've reshaped that, and that is now allowing current to flow from the pickup to that thing. But it still doesn't work. So I've pulled off the magnet, I've pulled out the brushes, the brush springs and the brush plugs. Haven't pulled the brushes themselves out yet. They're sort of sticky. But the first thing I notice when I look carefully at the armature, at the commutators on the armature. Now, some of you, being brilliant engineers, will have already detected that the groove that separates the segments of the commutator is full of muck. That never helps. So what we're going to do, we're going to pull this little commutator out and test it and see if there's any life in the commutator. I'm trying to arrange the light and the camera so that we can see what I'm talking about. I can see it, I don't know if the camera's picking it up. But the grooves between the segments of the commutator are absolutely full of sort of carbon and muck. So that really doesn't stand too much chance of working. I'm going to just tidy them out, clean them out, and see what joy we get. Well, dear. A continuity test told me that one of the three coils was dead. And I got my magnifying glass out and looked at it very carefully, and what I saw, they weren't sticking out like that, they were laying around. The wire is actually broken. Now, sometimes that's because the motor gets too hot, it's drawing too many amps and they burn out. Sometimes it could possibly be foreign object damage getting in there. But that commutator is dead. Now, I've read all sorts of bits and pieces of interesting stuff, and there's a lot of people say, well, just wind some new wire on and solder a new set of windings on it. I've got to say that that's actually beyond me at the moment. So what we're going to do, we'll pop all this in a box put it in the cupboard and leave it out of the way until the day that I get myself a winder, or bite the bullet and send it off to one of the specialist firms that do these. There are firms that supply rewound armatures. There are firms that will rewind your one. Somewhere I've got a directory with those companies in, but for now this one is going in the back of the cupboard against the day that I've got nothing else to do. Well, I guess it's been a bit of a disappointing evening, that, you know, discovering burnt out armatures, and there's only one therapy for that. Yeah, only one,